G'day, I'm Scott McGregor. I grew up in fine wool growing country in central New South Wales, and over the years I've found myself in all manner of shearing sheds, both big and small. But have a look at this one. Diageo, not far out of Uralla in the New England of New South Wales. Originally built in 1872, this magnificent shed is heritage listed and has an unusual octagonal design. When it was built, it had over 80 stands, and it's still in the ownership of descendants of the original Dangar family who built it. Let's have a look around. Diageo is still used today by Hugh Sutherland and his family. I don't need to tell you that growing wool can be a hard game, and it's not going to get any easier. With higher costs, droughts, I won't go on, otherwise it might send you to the bottle. But I also don't need to tell you that growing wool can be immensely satisfying. It's what you do yourself. What you grow and sell, you've done with your own hands. You spend a lifetime breeding better sheep and looking after them well, and in a few minutes, all that good work can be undone if you don't take a few simple steps to present your wool to the market properly. In short, you can bugger it all up in a flash, but if you present your wool properly, you might make more money. Now, don't be too concerned. This DVD is not a training DVD. It's not going to be a sermon from the Mount about how much your industry needs you, and it's certainly not going to be some lecture from an academic. We've spoken to some of the country's leading wool buyers, then a couple of Australian processors, and then we visited a number of progressive wool growers to get their ideas about how they prepare and present their wool to meet the market and maximise their returns. It's their real experiences that we think may help you make a quid. And none of this is rocket science. It's often the simple things that have been forgotten. And with the help of Lionel Plunkett from the Australian Wool Exchange, we've put the savings and costs in dollar terms, so you can see how much better off you might be by making a few changes. Now, you've used a few benchmarks to help with your study, things like flock sizes. What have you come up with?
We've tried to focus on a typical Australian clip. We've based the numbers on a 3,000 sheep flock, cutting 4.5 kilos and averaging 19 microns, which is about average for Australia.
And surely there's big variations in that. Yeah?
Of course, depending on location and enterprise mix, these numbers will vary.
Lionel will keep bobbing up all the way through this DVD, like this. So, let's make a start. There are two golden rules to bear in mind when selling into the market. The first rule is to find out what the customer wants. The second rule is to give it to them. So, on your behalf, we've asked the buyers and the processors what they want and what their concerns are when buying good Aussie wool.